Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, August 1st. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. And then finally, if you would like for me to do an analysis on one of your positions, comment down below and I'll do my best to get to that in a future top 10 video. So stock number one, ticker symbol NVDA. Very, very impressive turnaround. Just yesterday, there was this bounce that had rolled back over, so it was looking like a very real threat of, is that area of support going to be crushed to the downside? And wow, all of that was wiped away as there was the big gap up, and then the price continued on up. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of both those lines down there because at this point, they are no longer relevant to where the price is at right now. So moving forward, ideal level of support, and what you really do want to see the price stay above now is going to be that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average, right now valued at 111.70. And the reason why I would say that is important is if the price were to come down here and then break down below it, all of a sudden you start to have the price going back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that make great moves and then go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. Now, nothing can go straight up, so that's why you just want to see signs of progress, but that is why that is progress, because if the price stays above that level, then that would imply there's a base right there, previous base right there, and if you envision those as stair steps still plenty in the upwards direction. In terms of levels of resistance, the LUMN key level overhead, right up there, that pink line there, 200-period moving average, valued right now, let's just call it $120. So overall, though, impressive day. Not just a question of can the price show those signs of progress by staying above that purple line. Let's see what happens. Next one, NCNC. For you penny stock traders out there, a good solid pattern here. So let's get this mapped out. So let me change this to green to represent support. So bottom part of this pattern is basically just right where the consolidation took place there, right around 0.258. There was that big move up. Then the price pulled back, and then right here is where the price went sideways, and it's now getting a little bit of upwards movement here. And then in terms of the key area of resistance, level that stands out to me is that area right there. And then to convert this into a pattern, let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big explosive move right here. For you golfers out there, let me put a golf hole down here, make it a little bit more visually appealing. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price comes up here and gets a break through that level, that technical breakout could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. Even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, so be it. But that is a very realistic and rational, way to view the chart. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennants, keep an eye on it. Next one, LUMN. This will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video from yesterday, but if you did, hopefully remember me talking about that green line right there that I put in as support. And when you know it, this morning price came down here and found some support right at that general area, and then an absolutely beautiful bounce off that level. So for any of you that did watch yesterday's video and pick some shares up at that support trend line, well done to you. Congratulations. First key update comes about based on the foundation rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closes above, you want to see them act as support. So ideally speaking, moving forward, you want to see the price stay above 278. I say ideally because if the price were to fall below there, not the end of the world, but that would certainly make the chart look the strongest. For more so the overarching bigger picture standpoint, that's where the purple line there comes into play, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So overall, as long as the price stays above that uptrending quote-unquote trend line, again, just a moving average, then that by default means the overall trend is still plenty in the bull's favor. But yeah, what would make it look the strongest? Definitely staying above that 278 mark. In terms of areas of resistance, little miniature one right here at the 312 mark, and that's just simply where the, from where the party stopped today. But definitely public enemy number one, the overarching level right up here at the highs from yesterday, which sit right up around $3.45. But anyway, look at it. Nice grind today, upwards move, flirting with potentially breaking up through that 312 mark. And if that happens, then again, turn your attention to 345. Next one, FFIE. Very nice start to the day at least. Unfortunately, though, after hitting these highs from here, it's pulled back quite a bit, but there's still a chance for the bulls to remain in control. And in my mind, the point where I would say they are remaining in control right here at the 33-cent mark. And why is 33 cents important? Well, as we already talked about, we want to see progress being made forward. So if the price were to come down here and then break down below there, what is that doing? Well, that would quite literally be putting the price right back in this range where it just was. And that is just not genuine strength. Big move up and then right back to where it was. You know, in some senses, in some terminology, people would call that just a pump and dump. And now I'm not saying this is a pump and dump in the sense of the company's, you know, some shady company being run out of a bunker in North Korea. I'm just saying based strictly on the price action standpoint. With all that being said, if the price does come down here, bounce around like this and then curl back upwards, well, then what do we have in that set of circumstances? We have a low there, we have a low here. You envision those as stair steps, and you have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. So that is why, to me, the most important level moving forward is all about 33 cents, because that's going to reveal whether or not the price is making progress or if the price is just going right back to where it was. Next one, NUZE. Nice pattern here. Big start. Price pulled back. And then at this point, it all becomes a very valid question throughout there. Uh-oh, is this just a gap and trap? Is this one of these pump and dumps? Is this thing ready to just continue to collapse all the way back down? And we got our answer, and no, it didn't. In fact, the price leveled out, which is what's giving us our support, and the buyer stepped in and never were able to push any bit further than $5.55. So that's important because that does, as of now, illustrate and show that, okay, the selling pressure is done. It has not gone down any further. On the flip side of things, though, there's still the area where the sellers are clearly hanging out right up around the 640-ish mark. But the key dynamic here and what makes it interesting is just simply the sideways movement. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because there's this nasty pullback, and now just because the price gone sideways, doesn't mean for sure guaranteed the pullback is over and this thing's getting ready to head back upwards. My point is it becomes a lot more plausible. It becomes a lot more rational to throw out the consideration that maybe this sideways action is a leading indicator that this thing's getting ready to curl back upwards. So if you like this price range down below $10, you like this circumstances where you get the bigger pullback and then it starts to go sideways and you get to ask the question, all right, is the pullback over? Is this thing getting ready to curl back upwards? Definitely keep an eye on it. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use, or if you're watching right at my site, there's an area on the webpage you can use to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this thing is back up to where it was previously. Yesterday got rejected back down, but after today's movement, we definitely have a very, very well-defined area of where the sellers were hanging out, and that's up there at 235.50. Now, it's not perfect, but you can see right there, got rejected, not quite, slightly above, and then right now just kind of hanging out right below there. So you got to think that everybody and their brother's uncle has noticed that right around this 234.50 mark, a lot of sellers are hanging out there. And I say that because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So if the price were to come up here and push up through there, like I said, not a guarantee, but valid to think that that could generate that much more buying pressure and create that much more momentum. So in my mind, Tesla's really that straightforward after we got this data point here of 234.50, just really hammering home that that's where the sellers are. So keep an eye on that, and let's see if the bulls can push up through that battleground. Next one, PMEC. Very nice mover this afternoon as prices pulled back. Now, I should take a step back. Maybe not a nice mover because maybe some like, oh no, I like to buy these when they're more so down in the consolidation. It's already started to curl back upwards. For those of you, I totally get it. But on the flip side, this action right here brings about now a very interesting question. That question is this the start of something even bigger? Now, think about that question. It makes zero sense to ask that question if nothing worthwhile is even happening. But in this situation, something worthwhile is happening. It's leveled out. It's curling back up. So yeah, is this curl up the start of something bigger? To be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing rolls right back over. That's why risk management matters. But it is a two-sided coin. So again, to be fair, maybe it is the start of something bigger, and this thing's getting ready to rock and roll back up to those highs. So at the end of the day, sure, for some strategies, maybe they missed it. But if you're somebody that likes penny stocks, you like these situations where you get to ask the question, all right, nice move. Interesting move. Is it the start of something even bigger? Then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, AMD, and same general idea of what I've talked about with a couple of these other ones. Nice start, big pullback, but now we're starting to get some sideways movement, and the sideways movement comes more so right there via that purple line, which, I mean, you could throw this right into a textbook. Think back to the rule: when levels of resistance are broken, they tend to act as support. So check out the purple line. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Today, the price broke up above it. Now look what's going on with it. It is a support. So classic example there of a resistance turning into support. So if you haven't connected those dots, key area of support moving forward, definitely going to be that purple line right now valued, let's just call it right around 141. Now, if this thing is going to try to curl back upwards, key level that really seems to have revealed itself as where the majority of the sellers are hanging out at, right there at 145.50. I mean, you can see numerous times, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Price has basically hit 145.50 and has not been able to quite push above it. But like I said, what makes this interesting is big pullback, now going sideways. Is this pullback finally over? Is this thing getting ready to curl back upwards, especially with AMD, a very popular stock? You know, whether you trade stocks or options on it, or shares or options on it, certainly worth an interesting setup, assuming you like these situations. Next one here, MHUA, and a very, very basic premise here because this is a hideous looking chart. Very ugly, but you longer time viewers know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly because this thing was way up here. It has now dropped all the way here, but notice where it's maintaining so far. It is respecting that pink line there, 200 period moving average. It is going sideways. So sideways movement right above the 200 period moving average. Does that mean it's a guaranteed bottom? Hopefully you're saying no, of course not. Does it make it plausible to say that maybe this thing is going to curl back upwards? Yeah, absolutely plausible. But it could plunge. That could continue. That's why risk management matters. But relative to what's being risked, if you do get some sort of movement back in the upside direction from a risk versus reward scenario, your upside potential could be very, very favorable compared to your downside risk. Once more, assuming that you are, gonna manage that risk properly. But overall, nasty looking chart, but it is sideways movement above 200 period moving average. Let's see if it curls back upwards. Next one here, TQQQ, very nice mover today. And first update, just based on that rule, which I talked about, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support, and so far so good, especially this afternoon. I mean, there's a couple times right there, fell below it right there, but that's when the announcement came out from the Fed. And then you can see right there, went right back to acting as support. So preferably speaking, 67.40, you want to see hold strong. But if that level doesn't hold, not the end of the world, because ultimately, you want to see the price stay above that purple line there, 50 period moving average, which I've already talked about. And then in terms of areas of resistance, no need to overthink things. Just ask yourself the question, where did the party finally stop today? Whoops. And the party stopped several times right up there around that $69 mark, essentially 3 times, once, twice, 3 times. So keep an eye on that level, as that'll be the main battleground. But anyway, look at it. Massive gap today. Good to see that level's holding that support. Let's see if the price can get the breakout up through there and can continue on with the momentum. Now, I will get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders, again, if you like what you saw here, then definitely go get signed up for the free live training. It'll be very soon, Thursday, August 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And it is a genuine live event, and I say that because there is a Q&A session, so bring your questions, and I'd be happy to answer them live for you. Let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame, so each one of these represents 4 hours, not 30 minutes, and that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7, and I want this video and analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible, and by using the 4-hour time frame, we can do that. But yes, as I speak right now, this past 4 hours has not been very good, but from the grand scheme of things, everything is still okay. Now, there is a bit of perspective. I get it. If you're a day trader and you bought right there and you wanted to buy and sell within 2 hours, well, then yes, from that standpoint, the chart's looking really, really bad. But assuming you care about the bigger picture, the price is still nicely up above not only this green line here, it's still up nicely above that pink line, the 200 period moving average. But to keep this relevant, let's just assume that you're watching this video, 15 hours after I upload it. Question number one you need to ask yourself is, where is the price at relative to that purple line? As you see here, that purple line, 50 period moving average, has totally gone into resistance mode. Rejected, 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 rejected. Now, if you're answering the question, 15, 20 hours from now, hey, Clay, I'm watching this and the price is actually up above that purple line, that is a good sign. Very, very good sign, because that implies that not only is this downwards pressure done, but it's actually leveled out and gone up enough to get above that purple line. So any sort of answer where you're saying the question is above that purple line, very, very good situation. Maybe you're saying, well, Clay, actually, no, the price is still down below that purple line. Next immediate question, okay, well, where's the price at relative to 63,200 or 63,260? If you're saying the price is below there, next immediate question, where's the price at relative to there? If somehow you're answering the question that the price is below both of these areas here, I doubt you will be. That would just be telling you that the bears have not only gained more strength since this moment in time as I talk, but they have, they've picked up that much more momentum. or maybe just saying, well, Clay, the price is still up above here, but the price is still down below the purple line, then that ultimately is just a bigger form of consolidation. Because when I zoom this out, you can see the price has been down at this area before. So even if the price were down around that area, that's still just an overall sideways consolidation. Granted, it's a little bit closer to the bottom part of the consolidation, but it would still be consolidation nonetheless. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to go get signed up for this free class, because what you're learning about can and definitely should be used within the world of crypto and Bitcoin. So go get signed up. Like I said, it'll be very soon, Thursday, August 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So use the link down below and get signed up. As far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment down below, tell me your watch list for tomorrow, or like I said earlier, if you have a request, put that in the comment section and I'll do my best to get to that in a future video. So thanks for watching. Go get signed up for that free class. Take care.